Alright, imagine this. You're building a simple URL shortener. Seems easy, right? Take a long URL, turn it into something short, and store it. Done. But then reality hits. 500 internal server errors, database overloads, server crashes. Everything's on fire. You thought URL shortening was a weekend project. Turns out, scaling one is way harder than you expected. It all starts innocently enough. You take a long URL that's way too long and think, I'll hash this into something short and store it. Easy. You do some back of the envelope math. Each URL entry takes about 2 kilobytes. No big deal. But here's where things get tricky. What happens when your URL shortener goes viral? Let's say 10% of Twitter's 556 million users try your service. That's 55 million new entries in a month. Over 112 gigabytes of data in just 1 month. Fast forward 5 years and you're looking at 6.1 terabytes. Suddenly, this tiny side project feels like you're running a tech startup. Scaling a URL shortener sounds easy until you actually try. How short should these URLs be? How much traffic are you expecting? Do you need one server or a whole fleet of them? You pick a 7-character URL path using base 62 encoding, giving you 3.5 trillion possible combinations. Plenty of room, you think, until you realize something terrible, collisions. But more on that later. Okay, time for the database. A traditional RDBMS feels like a safe choice. Transactions, ACID compliance, and strong consistency. But then traffic spikes. Millions of records pile up. Suddenly, your trusty RDBMS feels like a sinking ship. Sharding, replication, and consistent hashing haunt your dreams. That's when you discover NoSQL. It promises easier horizontal scaling and high availability. Sure, you lose instant consistency, but you would rather deal with slight delays than watch your database catch fire. So you switch to NoSQL, and collisions become your next nightmare. Base 62 encoding sounds magical until 2 URLs fight for the same short code. You think, maybe I'll use MD5 hashing, but it spits out way more characters than you need. Trimming the hash to 7 characters just brings collisions closer. Without an easy insert if not present feature, like in relational databases, you need a new strategy. So enter encounter-based IDs. Like handing out carnival tickets, each one is unique. But guess what? Now you have a single point of failure. And if you scale to multiple servers, keeping counters in sync is a nightmare. That's when ZooKeeper enters the chat. ZooKeeper is like the wise elder of distributed systems, managing servers and assigning unique ID ranges. Each server gets its own batch of counters. No overlaps, no collisions. ZooKeeper doesn't just track IDs. It keeps your system from crashing by managing which servers are alive and which aren't. With this setup, you're finally running like a well-oiled machine. Every server has its own counter rate. No duplicates, no collisions. And with caching tools like Redis, your response times are lightning fast. It's not just a URL shortener anymore. It's a scalable distributed system built for insane traffic. But here's the thing, going live is just the beginning. Balancing load, keeping data consistent, and minimizing latency aren't theoretical. They're the things that will keep you up at night, obsessing over logs and dashboards, bottlenecks, edge cases, and everything's fine, except it's not moments will keep coming. Caching strategies, rate limiting, and eliminating single points of failure become your survival tools or your worst enemies. Your simple URL shortener isn't an app anymore. It's an evolving, distributed system. Keeping it alive is a constant game of system design Tetris. You've built the perfect URL shortener. It's fast, scalable, and handling millions of requests without breaking a sweat. You're feeling unstoppable until one day, you're reading some tech news. Turns out, someone forked your side project from GitHub, slapped a new logo on it, and is now pitching it as a revolutionary SaaS platform at a startup competition.
Jinyang, are you copying all those companies for the Chinese markets?
Oh no.
And somehow, they've raised 10 million in funding. Congrats. You didn't just build a URL shortener, you've built their MVP. Pull requests welcome, or not. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.